I just loved everything about the WNBA this year.
Yeah,
It just was crazy. But first,
yeah.
coach, let me introduce you, okay? Everyone, welcome to the 23rd edition episode today, Sunday Brunch. I'm gonna introduce my guest, Coach Fred Williams from the LA Sparks. Now let's look inside at Fred Williams, who played college ball at Boise State. He served as an assistant coach at the University of Southern California from 1983 to 1990. And he also served as a head coach from 95 to 97, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. You also spent a few years with all of our icons, Vivian Stringer over there at Rutgers, which I thought was excellent. And because you're such a staple to women's basketball. You also coached where I got the opportunity to encounter you with the Utah Stars, who are now who they're not now the San Antonio Stars, but they're now the Aces. And you coached us from 1999 to 2001. Okay, then you later served with the Charlotte Sting. My God, you've been around the WNBA. That's why I'm saying you're a staple. All right. Afterwards, you went and you coached for the San Diego Sage of the NWBL before joining the Atlanta Dream as an assistant coach in 2009. After you went to become the head coach, and then you were GM in various locations, various teams, Atlanta, Tulsa, who is now Dallas, and now the Los Angeles Sparks. Coach, welcome to Sunday Brunch, where we mainly discuss basketball, but we love other sports. Even Siri wants to chime in because you're so all-star cast of boys, coach. You in here? Siri wanted to holler at you too. I had to turn them off.
Hey,
You so
I
hot.
take it.
You so
I put Siri on the resume too. Hey, yeah, I get all the answers. Hell.
yes, love. Coach,
Yeah.
give us a glimpse into what you're doing now. Where are you at this time right now?
Well, at this time right now, I'm all about, social justice, the reform of things, trying to change things around the world, also for women's basketball, fighting still for, the rights for the ladies, to get more pay and just having more TV time, on the air. I'm at peace. I've been assistant coach, head coach, GM. I've been all those things, and I can say in my journey, which you have just read a few minutes ago, through all those organizations, that I've learned and taken a little bit from each of those organizations and apply it today. So I'm living here at home in Dallas, Texas, with my queen, my wife. We enjoying ourselves, and we just staying COVID free. That's all.
I know that's right, Coach. I know that's right. And you make sure you tell Bo I said what's up.
I will. I
We
will.
just we have so much history going all the way back to college and just watching you grow as a coach. And a lot of times people have a lot of things to say about the male coaches that are in the female game, but you are a staple. You, Brian Agler, Dan Hughes, you guys have been around the game. Bill Lane Beer, when he came into the WNBA, he's a staple now. And so it's just like, to see you guys and watch your evolution and what it is that you bring to the game. And you just so happen to be in a unique situation this year. As a coach and me, building, I know how hard it is to convey my message to the kids up close and personal. This year you were outside the bubble. I talked to you. I said, Coach, you guys are outside you're out of the bubble now, and I want to talk to you. I said, I want to get an opinion. I want to talk to more coaches and find out what that situation was like. But you're unique. You were on the outside of the bubble. I know how hard it is to convey the message to people standing in front of them. How
Yeah.
hard was it for you to do those video edits and get the girls to buy into the philosophy that you guys were pitching during COVID?
Well, I call myself a virtual coach, which probably going to be a new thing coming, for the future as a virtual coach. And, watching every WNBA game played this past, summer, this season, That's probably over, maybe 80 to 90 something games, and scouting all those games. The way that was done is for me to just to get the information, apply it just like I would do normally scouting in person, and apply it and send it to the head coach, and which is Derek Fisher, and so he can present it to the team. At times we have some virtual meetings together, talk about strategies and all. But it's just like recruiting. It's like back in the day they didn't have video, so you in recruiting you had the telephone. So now you have video and the phone. So the way to express that now becomes a little bit easier because just like the television setting back of you, I can just say what's going on in certain things in a clip, and it's just like being right there in the room. So it was really easy for me. This I would say easy, but it was just really convenient for me this past summer to do that for our team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you say that it's easy, and you've been doing it for so long. Like video editing, you can kind of do it in your sleep. Copy, paste code, uh, and put your notes and recruit people. You've been around so many players that you can you just have a system. Like for someone who's aspiring right now to be a coach, and it's a difficult situation right now. And you just mentioned that, and some people are going to bite off of the fact that you said that virtual coaching is going to be the way to go. What advice would you give to somebody who, at this point right now, is trying to be a coach, and we have COVID? You know that you're going to be operating from a distance. What could you tell that person to bring to the table that will set them apart and make them unique so that they can get the job?
Well, I think pretty much being in a lot of clinics, being in podcasts, and having your face out there visually, on video on the computer, just networking. I mean, that's the main thing is just networking and knowing who are your friends in the game, who aren't your friends in the game, and just stay true to those true friends who are going to give you the true answers. And so I think if you can stay in those guidelines and just keep networking like you're doing, that's great because you're not going to be able to go to a lot of clinics in person out now with until this COVID-19 situation gets over. But if you can do that on a virtual video, and sometime virtually, there could be probably 25 to 50 coaches on there who may be looking for an assistant coach, or a head coach or GM. So I would say just network and keep doing the video thing. That's an important thing for any young person.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head when you said to, make sure that you stay, circle yourself around those people and network those people with those people who are going to give you the true answers.
True
You know,
answer.
because that's really, that's
That's
really
correct.
important. You really don't want to be chasing your tail. And
Right.
so, Coach, you've had the opportunity to coach in the WNBA for more than 10 years. All
Oh,
right.
wow.
Give us
Yeah.
the secret to success. I mean, what's been your secret to longevity?
My secret to longevity, and I've been in this league, for about 23 years now, and I think the league is going on 25 now. But just being around. My secret is just being me. Just being honest, being that true colleague, that true friend. That even though I am coaching against you, or I didn't get that free agent that I was supposed to get, but they playing against me, I was always being truthful to that player and that coach in whatever situation that may be going on. That I think the truthfulness is important. Myself, I can go and talk to any WNBA coach, any WNBA player in this league, and feel comfortable because I've talking and spoken with them in truth, and that's important to get a longevity in this league. I'm a male in a female's world, and I've been there for a long. I told you that a long time ago, Goody. I'm a male in a female's world, and I have a lot of respect for a lot of people, and I have no fear. And it's all about just giving back and just being honest with people, and they take that and go with it a long way.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. I remember, several instances where you were fighting for me in Utah. And, I was glad that I took your advice because I still do this till today. And I tell it to kids, I tell it to people, anybody that I'm talking to who would listen. And you always told me, Goody, silence is golden. Goody, silence is golden. Goody, silence is golden.
I'm
Yeah, you already knew. And you and my, see, that's how you laughing. And All
I
right,
said it.
that's
I said it several times in practice too. You get ready to blow up on him. I say, "Goody, silence is golden now. This keep it here." You know.
yes. And you were my guardian angel at that time because we were, and this was my last conversation, my last show, and it was with Sue Wicks. I was like, we were really building that program up there in Utah, and there
Yeah.
was so many difficult, times that we had to pass through that were so unnecessary at times. But and that's when that comment would come from you, like, good,
Yeah.
silence is golden. We're gonna get this
Yeah.
done. And I remember when we had just started the All-Star weekend, All-Star games and stuff like that, and they didn't pick me for All-Star, and you just went off, and you were like,
Yeah.
you went off, and just to watch you and see how you battled for me as a coach, that was so
Absolutely.
important. And so for anybody who's out there, and anybody who just came on, you're listening to Sunday Brunch, WNBA, State of Mind, sitting here with legendary coach Fred Williams. Right now, he is the coach for the assistant. He's assistant coach for the LA Sparks. He did the virtual coaching for anybody who chimed in. And I'm telling you, this guy right here,
Mhm.
this coach of mine right here, I'm telling you, I will stand on the top of the mountain and testify about how you fought for us. So
Oh
I
man,
mean, I don't even have to
strong.
even know. I don't even have to be in the room to know how you are probably still fighting for us and fighting for social justice and fighting for change and fighting for
Yeah.
ourselves and fighting
Yeah.
for health insurance. You're doing so many things for us, it's not even funny. Um, Coach, this year we already talked about that. We already talked about, you just being outside the bubble. Um, how did you convey your message to the girls? What from outside? How did you convey your message to them? I know you were in video, but you see them struggling, you see them going through things, and you can't physically be there. What were
Hmm.
your tactics? Did you shoot them Hallmark cards? Did you do anything? What was your tactics? You say, listen, let's get, because I know you had one.
Well, a lot of it, was through, Coach Fisher, with him having the main message. My times that if there's a game after a win or, a tough loss, my thing each day or maybe every other day was hit a few ladies with some of the encouraging quotes, that says, hey, create your own success story, or, hey, this will soon pass. Tomorrow's another day. The main thing was keep your value up every day. If you're the 12th player on the roster, you're going to get your chance some part of the season. Those type things add up and build up, and it sustains a momentum for the team throughout the season.
Absolutely, and you definitely hit the nail on the head because you were a great encourager, especially for those players who weren't getting playing time. And I remember in Utah how you made everybody feel just as special as the next person, and it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy for players coming after me to play behind me, and you were always standing there in the gap. Coach, please don't tell me you're still out there running ball with them. You were one of the people. Uh, Oh my God. You and you had me and I did the same thing with my play. I get out there and I ball with him. You were out there balling with us. Okay, you
Yeah,
don't know the play. I want you to shadow me, run behind me so you can
right.
run the plays and literally had a player with their hand on your shirt running behind you so that they could run the plays. You were so instrumental. Like, man,
uh,
you still out there balling like that, coach?
No, anything I'm doing is at either at Top Golf or in my living room here with my little putt-putt machine. I'm tired of chasing. My last chasing years was probably trying to chase Skylar Diggins around in
Oh
Tulsa, getting her
boy.
together, and then also, having Liz Cambridge in Dallas and stuff. And I was like, nah, it's time for me to go and retire. These young ladies got me now. I can't do no chasing no more.
Listen, you chased after us and you blew your wheel. You almost blew your wheel up there in Utah,
Yeah.
chasing after us, doing your thing up there, and just so many great stories that we have about Utah. I was sad to see that organization go. Actually,
But
just all
yeah.
of the work that we have put into it.
Yeah, but goody, look, and I kind of looked at. I have a wall, I have a wall of fame here of stuff. You're on my wall of fame, that's for sure. Because I thought you were the steal of the draft back then, and was it 1999?
Yup.
And I told you the first thing, I said, hey, let me tell you, you're the steal of the draft. I got you where I need to get. It came out of, well, we had names like Natalie Williams, Margot Diedick, Elena Baranova, Wendy Palmer, Debbie Black, Corey Halle, Cindy Brown, Olympia Scott, Trisha Bader, Jennifer Azee, who came out of retirement going to play for us, Stacey Freeze, Katie Starbird, Latanya Johnson, Marie Ferdinand. Man, I can go on and on. I can go on and on, man. I mean, that's what it takes to make a difference in a franchise over 2 or 3 year period. And I thought we progressed and made progress every year with wins, loss, and making playoffs and that type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we went
Whew.
from, you know, single digits to double digits to Western Conference uh, dispute,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, with LA and where you are now. And so there was a lot of legwork, and then went down to San Antonio. There was a lot of legwork,
Hmm.
and then up to Las Vegas to the Aces, where we finally found a home,
Hmm.
and it's in a city that absolutely has embraced that team in a
Hmm.
way that no other city has embraced the team.
Yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, they've done a great job of
Wow.
laying that franchise out. Bill Lambier and his staff and that whole organization has done a great job through the WNBA and Vegas to make it happen. And to still see your name and your legacy of what you have done for that organization, even way back for Utah. I mean, I know it's the Aces now, but that's where the birth
Yeah,
of that organization started. I mean, you had 4,000 points in this league. You had like
yeah,
1,500 rebounds in this league. I
yeah.
mean, you're a pioneer yourself, so I got to give you your props for
I
what you've
appreciate
done, and
I
that's
appreciate
bigger, and that's bigger than a trophy to me because that stays on paper for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to, have been a part of that whole the beginning of it all where it was sometimes it felt like we were treading through mud, but to see the finished product and where it's going to eventually be. I can't wait to, for my eyes to see where this league is in another 20 years, 25
Yes,
years. And I'm a prophecy.
absolutely.
We're going to see it. And
Yes.
the thing about it is let's talk basketball inside the bubble, though, Coach. We had Asia, who ends up the MVP neck and neck. Candace Parker could have took that too, because they were this their numbers were so similar. It was off by like maybe a few here. Like I think Candace had more rebounds and Asia was averaging two more points than Candace. Candace was averaging 18, then Candace was averaging crazy numbers with her rebound and maybe have been about 9, and then Asia might have been like 8. So they were like right there. So it could have been either way. I think in the end it ended up coming down to wins and losses, which it always does. We got the Roy and Candace. I mean Crystal Dangerfield, the most
Mhm.
improved player, and Leahy and Laney, and sixth woman of the year, two-time Hamby. She was balling. It was
Mhm.
unfortunate that she got hurt and couldn't represent because I think that would have been the difference in the outcome of the games. Cheryl Reeves gets the coach of the year.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of coaches that could have went that were neck and neck right along with her that could have got that. And so, talk about some of the players and just playing under the circumstances that you guys were under this year, and to still come out on top is absolutely fantastic because not everybody went into that wobble in shape, but the ones that went in
Yeah.
always knew that was with me, coach. I wasn't coming in less than 85%. So if
That's
you try
right.
to
Right.
try to take a spot, you could forget about it.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
90%, you could forget about it.
Yes.
Kids that superseded. Talk about those kids.
Well,
Wow.
I've always told players, as you know, from day one, that real pros come into training camp in shape. Those are real pros. And the ones that are not in shape, you're just going to have to climb the ladder to get there. And that's up to coaches to make that happen. I think, you talk about all those young ladies that you talk about the MVP and the awards that were I think every player in the league should have got a trophy. That's just how it is. You in the bubble, in the wobble, everybody deserve an MVP award. I applaud them big time. And congratulations to all the players who did get awards and all team first team ballots and second team ballots. But the main thing is the purpose there was for social justice. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, all that situation that was happening, and this season with the WNBA was pretty much for social justice, having more awareness of what's going on. ESPN, had us on with coverage is up 34% with coverage, and that is very good, phenomenal for the fans. And I was just happy to see those things happen inside the bubble, and those ladies stayed really focused and played good basketball all the way to the end. Every game counted through the whole season, all the way to the end, even in the finals. It just counted all the way to the end. And I thought regular season was awesome to see the young, talented players, arise and especially with that Atlanta team. They had some young, talented players on there that really, really played hard. The record didn't show it, but they have it there. And I thought Dallas had a few players on there too that is going to be some superstars in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed watching you guys on social media. And I'm not even talking about other teams. I'm talking about specifically the Sparks.
Yeah.
Because you guys did such a great job at putting content out there that kept people engaged and also took them away from a lot of the social injustice stuff that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Your girls are dancing, they're laughing, they're doing their rituals, really doing a lot of stuff to bring about camaraderie, cohesiveness, and to keep up people's spirits. I think the biggest battle this year wasn't physical, it was mental and
Yeah.
spiritual
Mm-hmm.
this year because of the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
You guys have my favorite out there. I always hit every time y'all put her up. New Jersey, I always say Jersey stand up. That's all I put on there. Because you got my youngin over there, Brittany Sykes.
Yeah.
And I just hope that she just has a phenomenal career out there in LA with longevity. And who's the other young lady? She point guard,
Cooper.
rookie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cooper.
Tia,
Yeah.
Tia, Tia,
Uh-huh.
love personality.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have an absolutely fantastic group of kids over there. It looked like just from looking at it, even with your vets, that there was a lot of love and a lot of cohesiveness. And I want to send you blessings. I hope you guys keep that group together because you guys look fantastic. And it's not so much about what it looks like on paper, coach,
Mm-hmm.
but what it is that you can actually bring to the table, what you can bring to the floor. Because not everything that's on paper translates to the floor. Can you elaborate on that a little
Absolutely.
bit?
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't. I think it's with our team and organization, it's all about family. Being the Sparks family, and I thought the young ladies that were played inside the bubble, they showed a good presence of having a good chemistry of familyness, and I think that's always been with the Sparks, and this year really showed because they were so close knit each and every day. And it's just a matter of just working hard and helping each other out. Like I say, even myself being out, not in the bubble, but being a virtual coach from the outside, looking in, I still had contact with them verbally through text or through the website, and it just made a world of difference of just having a better understanding for each other and cohesiveness. And I think this organization and this team, is definitely heading in the right direction of trying to win another championship. And we got pretty close this year. One or two games when we made a big difference in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys did. You did a good job. Um, uh, just competing and keeping the girls together and the hustle was there. I know that there was a lot of mental anguish. I know there was a lot of mental anguish and a lot of spiritual battles that people had to deal with. We were dealing with the social injustice. We were dealing with, but these are things that we always have to deal with as women. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was something that we really had to deal with. The biggest thing was probably going inside of the bubble and then having to deal with it. Now you're in closed doors, and then you're close, like, to your competition. Now that was weird. I know that had to be weird, where, you know, you lose your game and then you could go back to your city or you could go to your own house. But to lose the game and then still and be around people that you gotta, like, how was that, coach?
Let me just say, Goody, back when you played, I don't think that would have happened too good because you you would have had somebody locked up there if they wasn't doing things right, But no, I just think the ladies did a great job in really presenting themselves in a professional manner. It was about basketball in a way, but it was also about social justice, and that's what they were all there for. It was pretty much like a big tournament. Each game, each week was like a big tournament, and kind of got over that game and got ready for the next game. Hey, if you're gonna dwell on the game, um, you know, the night before, and you're getting ready to play, another night, you're in trouble. So you have to think about the opposition. WNBA played games every other day
Yeah,
for 2.5 months, and that's incredible.
yeah, that was that. Those were a lot of games. I got the opportunity, and I got to get Coach Stanley on here as well, with the situation and talk to her about that. Indiana,
Yeah,
another
yeah,
team that was that it did not translate out on paper in the wins and losses, but
yeah.
I can see they're a tough team, and next year next season is going to be incredible to watch with all of the talent that's coming up. I'm secure. I feel secure with where the league is going. I talked to Elisa Scott, Coach Scott. She coached for Houston Comets, and
Hmm.
said, I think all of us were kind of concerned with how the league was going to be because we weren't going to be in it.
Yeah.
But now that you look at it, just take a look at it, and all of the opposition and everything that we've gone through, we've never gone through anything as grave as this. And to survive and to come out on top and to leave a blueprint for everybody else to follow
Right.
is
And that
absolutely
That,
fantastic.
that, and that's fantastic. Really, I think there's a saying that I have is leaving a footprint in the sand, and that's what this league has done. For this past season, I think that's what you've done as a player, and some of the former veterans in the league and coaches. You left your footprint and your voice, in the sand for people to either touch, feel, or let it fly in the wind. Man, that's what this league is heading upwards towards the wind and towards the sky.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, we're Sunday Brunch WNBA State of Mind here with legendary coach Fred Williams, LA Sparks. We can go on and on with the teams that you affected: Atlanta, Tulsa, Dallas, LA, Utah Stars, man. Love you much. You put so much out there. You put so much into the game. You poured so much into the game of women's basketball. I gotta shout you out. So I had to have you on the store, have you on the show. I want to shout out some people we have on here. Wendy Tompkins. Got Marsha Brewski from Brazil. Hey,
Mm.
como vai? Como vai? And we got Coach Tremel. Hey, Coach, what's up? She's checking you out on here. Uh,
Yes.
got my guy Sal out there. What's up, Sal? What to do, baby? All of the people that's out there that just chimed in. Sunday Brunch, Coach Williams, fantastic to have you here. Gotta ask you this question. We gotta talk about Freddie Bass. When I told Scott that you were gonna be on the show, Coach, she said, "What? Who? Freddie Bass." People have no idea that you can blow on that sax like that. Good thing. You're a jazz artist. Talk to us about that. Where is that right now? Do you have a new album out? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I've had 3 albums out. The first one was called Let's Ride. The other one was called Game Time. And then, the one I'm working on right now, which is being completed, is called What's Your Flavor? So, I play instruments by ear. It's a God-given talent, for me. And, I just bought a bunch of instruments back in the late 90s. and just started playing, and then built a recording, studio in house. And so I kind of dibble and dabble with a lot of things with music, and I'm just really intrigued with it. It's my outlet. People like to go golfing. I like to play music. People like to read, books. I like to read music and play music. So I usually play a lot of keyboard, bass, some saxophone, whatever instruments there's allowed. And I do pretty well at it. I've done some commercials for some, for some people and organizations. But for me, it's just a hobby, and it's just something I love to do. I probably play after today, like on a Sunday, I might play for 3 or 4 hours and just close the door and just get my mind right, and hear the tunes. I can write or put down any song that you like, or any beat that you feel. I can do that probably within an hour.
I believe you because Let's Ride was hot. I used to bang that in my car coming to practice and on the plane or traveling. I took that CD, I warped that CD up. So you're gonna have to send me a new one.
I'm
But
sure. I sure would.
I,
I send you all three. I send you get all
okay,
three of them.
that's
Yeah.
even better. You got a nice sound. I loved it. You do very well at that. I'd love to see a video come out from you for you where you playing all the instruments and you do some multiplicity or something or do some kind of Eddie
Hey,
Murphy.
hey, Goody. I'm cutting out.
Yeah,
I'm cutting out all the middleman. Oh, well, no bills. No bills. I'm,
absolutely.
I'm doing
But
like Quincy. I'm doing like Quincy Jones. No bills.
yeah, I have one of my guys on here, and he's he's head of creative content down at Old Dominion University.
Hmm.
And when I went back to school to coach, I meet him, and he says, "You know what? Be real honest with you. I really don't like you." I said, "What? Who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? You don't see my
Yeah.
picture before you come to me, talk to me like, man." He says, "Yeah, well, Latanya Johnson is my girl. She could never get off the bench because you was playing." He's a great guy. He's on here. Says, "Listen, I need a Latanya Johnson story. I can tell you this. TJ could shoot straight up. She could shoot the rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, she was a rookie, struggling to trying to find her place, and she hung in there. And by the time the second year came around, third year came around, she was getting valuable minutes. You
Hmm.
know, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You got Adrian Goodson, then they bring in Kate Starbird.
Hmm.
That wasn't easy.
Yeah.
You know, Kate was shooting the lights out. She came from Stanford. Utah shooting from Stanford. So
Hmm.
bottom line is, there was a lot of people out there that we had great players. So like elaborate. This will be a good story. Might not be a current story, but elaborate on how hard it was as a coach or how difficult it is as a coach. Because players really, the cream really, in this league, the cream really has to rise to the top because you have so many great players, coach, that it's hard to choose. Okay, you can't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to give you 20 minutes when the next person might be playing better than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the person who told you that they didn't like you when you first got there, yeah, but hey, just that's just one person you have to have a conversation with, and you just keep on doing your thing on a daily basis. But as a coach, putting that all together with talent, you want to have a talent of 12 young ladies, on your team who can give something any given night. I just know that that makes a franchise better and makes their value become better. I can give a prime example. I had Stacey Freeze was a little bit under Jennifer Azzi, didn't get a lot of minutes, but she still ended up, I think, the free throw champion of the league one year. And so there's opportunities there. You give players opportunities and branch off with it. And for myself to regulate and have that, go in a straight line, it was important for everybody to be on the same page and just know what was going on the daily. I was never one to hide things from my team and from you ladies. I would let you know up front before practice what's going down, and I didn't let you know what's going down afterwards. and then collectively we talk about it in the locker room, and either we fix it or we just keep going. It's different than college. College, you got to keep players who may have some feedback, or maybe some parents got feedback. In pros, it's like, okay, well, let me find you another team. That's it's plain and simple. Okay, because there's a lot of people want to be in the pros, but it's a little bit different pros in college. We can go ahead and make some changes right away.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like when you're on the pro level, you don't get time for all of that riffraff that you get time for. You ain't got mommy and daddy who gonna call and back you up, or you got the booster club, or you got this, that, and the third. It really is, every man for themselves in that type of situation. Especially when it comes to playing time, and you got to put in the work. And a lot of these
Hmm.
kids, I try to tell them nowadays, I'm like, you have to put in the work. You're not going to be able to go over here and watch 10, 12 videos and think you're going to be able to translate that to the floor.
Yeah.
They don't show that. The thing about it is I would love for somebody to come up with a channel that shows the in between. Let's show the in between to see if this is still something that you want to do. All of
Hmm.
the letdowns, all of the missed birthdays, all of the missed parties, all of the missed this, the sacrifices, the
Hmm.
dedication, the blood, sweat, tears, and fears, coach.
Yeah.
If we could depict that and show these kids actually what that looks like, I think that the walk would be different, because the kids look at the end product. They look at the beginning, they look at the end, and that's it. Most of the time, they look at the end and say,
Yeah.
okay, this is where all of the means are, but you gotta understand all that added up to the means.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's like taking the good with the bad. It's like what's in between there is important. How you handle that, your good and the bad, and that becomes the stems on with media, how you deal with media, that type thing, how you deal with your teammates and your coaches. But the main thing is just hard work. You got to get your butt in the gym. You got to work at whatever you're trying to do. And if you're trying to get that other position in front of somebody or get minutes, and I wouldn't say get somebody position, you just want to work for minutes. The more minutes you get on that floor, the more you can make things happen. I always tell players, that don't get a lot of minutes. I always tell them that, hey, give me a reason for me not to take you off the floor. But if you're throwing, four turnovers and shooting, 0 for 3, I got to snatch you out in 3 minutes. But if you're giving me 6 points and 5 points and about, two or three rebounds within 2 or 3 minutes, I got to let you stay and make things happen. I got to find you didn't took away some of Goody's minutes, because that's what you're doing. And I'm pretty sure Goody's applauding what you're doing because they see that this young person has really taken in what I have taught her or what she's seen. And that comes from veterans showing the way. Veterans have to be in the gym making that happen each and every day.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just so uh, the key to the vet. The vet is important. You have to have those people on the team. You got to have those, and it will. Former players is a whole nother subject. I applaud Cheryl Reeves. I applaud her to
Mm-hmm.
look and see all of us sitting over there, and all of
Hmm.
the teams that are out there that are literally placing, and you utilizing the former players and the vets, and
Yeah.
it's major, and it's those teams that succeed. I mean, look at Seattle because of a vet. And
Hmm.
so, just to take it off you, I know you see behind me, you see what is playing behind me. I keep it on NBA TV.
Hmm.
My father walks by, he's like, "Don't you get tired of who I am?" So, NBA TV for life. Thank God they have it. ESPN, ESPN Dos, ESPN Tres, whoever. I love all of these channels. Getting onto the men's side, I was gonna come over there. You used to always. I used to love being around you guys because it was a different walk, and it was a different perspective, and you guys gave me characteristics that I would have never have developed if I had not have been around you. And shout out to people like Reggie Theus. He was always popping up. I loved Reggie. Everybody loved watching him. Of
Hmm.
course, it wasn't bad on the eyes either. But him coming around and giving his points and talking junk. Oh, goody, yeah, I heard you could play. I'm like, yo, is this
Hmm.
Betty talking to me? This guy that I used to watch and love watching play. Coach Mike coming around. Goody, science is golden. So when
Right.
you running around, here's Coach Mike going. Silence is golden. Man. Coach,
Right.
come on, yeah, how quiet do I have to be? But that quietness got me a lot of in a lot of doors that I wouldn't have got in if I had opened up my mouth. And so I
Yeah.
appreciate that from you guys. Our coverage is up 38%. Who you got? Who you got? I mean, LeBron and them boys, they stacked. Y'all are stacked out there. I know you can't say, oh, LA, and you can't say Miami because you coach the spots, but Miami is making some noise, and that's with two veterans that are really getting on their behinds, all right, and a group of rookies and young players that are willing to listen. Talk about how important that is, Coach.
Well, I think the mindset of the series is, right now is with who's got the heart. And I think, Miami right now is out there with, they got shooters. They got two shooters out there that you got to guard those shooters. And then inside you got some full force of guys who can go in and dunk the ball on you. But, I think with the Lakers, it's just a matter of them just, playing, solid defense, good basketball like they've been doing. Could have had they could have had a victory the other night if they would taken the last shot. I think they tried to make a pass and it was a turnover. But down the stretch here, it's going to be all mental right now because when Miami's trying to catch up another step, and LA is right there at even keel of just playing their game, and it'll be interesting to see how it falls out here real soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be real soon. Actually, it's a
Hmm.
couple of hours, so I don't want to miss nothing. I don't want to miss nothing that's being said. I'm watching it real premature, and just basketball at its finest, and at our weakest moment in the world, at our weakest moment in the United States, in our country, we're doing big things, and just setting the stage and being a platform in which people can look at us and say, okay, this is how it's done. And this is the successful platform. And I wish all the success in the world to football because they have to have they got to have some kind of bubble concept, a little better bubble concept
Hmm.
than they have. Teams dropping out like crazy. College basketball. What do we get to look forward to in that, Coach? Do we get a college basketball season? Do we, I know they're treading around it. High school trying to make decisions about their season before they even see how college goes. That's kind of weird to me. That's how
Yeah,
often we're not on the same level. I wish we would get to the same mindset. Like, how could high school be planning their season when they really need to be looking to see how the NBA finishes up and what college does? You jumped over that to decide that there's a season.
yeah, yeah. That's hard. I mean, I really haven't put a lot of focus on what the college and even high school are doing. And I know that's a really a tough situation unless you're going to have those players and kids tested daily or every other day, or even having fans in the stands. I think right now college football has got some fans now in the stands, and I saw a game the other day, Texas and Oklahoma, and it was like pretty packed. So it's interesting how different uh, leagues in different cities have different ordinance for sports, and so that's what it's going to take to kind of break all that down. And that's a tough job and tough position for anyone who's trying to put all that together, especially on a national college level, but also especially on a high school level, because you don't want anybody to get affected or get really sick or even die from this COVID-19 and pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why I'm cheering for some type of protocol that we all follow.
Right.
Um, and so that, we have a successful model. We showed you that. The WNBA is over. They have a champion. It was successful. Nobody got sick. Nobody perished. That's
Hmm.
successful. We got the NBA. Could possibly be the last game today. I'd like to see a game seven, not because I want to see anybody lose, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think it'd be great for basketball if it's stretched out for another game. And I'm an advocate for my sport and what I do and my trade, so I could watch basketball all day, every day. Like I
Yeah.
could eat chicken wings, like I eat chicken wings every day, all day. Not a problem, Coach. But
Yeah.
once again, you're listening to Sunday Brunch, a WNBA State of Mind. I got one of my favorites on here, Coach Fred Williams, assistant coach right now with the LA Sparks. Coach, before we wrap it up, how can people get in touch with you on social media? Where are you? How do we find you?
Hey, you hear that silence right there?
Oh,
I'm old. I'm old.
that's
I'm
not
old.
on social media.
I'm old school. I'm, I'm old school.
Yay, Coach! Yay! I gotta shout out for you for that. I had a
Hey,
feeling you were gonna say that because I'm like, I don't ever see Coach Williams anywhere. Not even a
no,
tweet.
no, but the only way you're gonna see me on social media is through my queen, through my wife. She's on there's Bo Talley and Williams, and that's the only way you're gonna see me. She's got me doing some TikTok or TikTok, whatever that stuff they call.
Oh
I
Lord,
do
she's
I do
TikToking.
some of those. Yes, I do some of those things. With her. That's fun. But for us, me having on. No, I'm not on social media at all, and
Okay,
that's people
all
said
right.
I should be, to give out more, but I'm still old school. I just got rid of the flip phone about a month.
You know what? I hate it. I can't. And you know what? I can see that, and I'm probably gonna have to call Coach Mike and tell him to throw his out too. I know he do. He probably still got a beep. He probably walking around with a beeper, with a pager on. Coach Mike ain't playing. Okay, and like you said, are there any new things in the works? You said about your CD. Like, how do people get your CD? This guy, where do they go and get your CD? Like, your jazz is
well,
divine.
yeah, I know it's freddiebasemusic.com is where they can go and order the CD or listen to some clips on the CD. Most of my CDs, I pretty much are people that I just kind of like
Yeah,
know that I do music and I, send it to them or either buy it for donations. I usually on each CD sold, I usually give, $5 to $3 donation to, proceeds. I'm also working closely with my wife with the Balling for Lupus program, which is an all-female, all-star, celebrity all-star game that we present for the past 7 years, and usually that happens in Atlanta. And so I'm involved with that a lot. But other than that, that's about it. I'm working on my album and getting ready for the college season to start up, hopefully, and get ready for the WNBA draft coming up in the next April.
okay. Next April is going to be the WNBA draft. I'll be looking forward to seeing who you guys are going to even try to squeeze in
Mm.
on your team because it's squeeze. Okay, you guys have a lot of great talent over there. I hope, I hope that you keep them together, even including you guys as a staff. Like to see that those are the teams that you know, the ones that stay together, play together, eat together, drink together, evolve together through thick and thin. Those are the teams that end up on top. So you got FreddieBassMusic.com. Coach, I really would like you to consider SoundCloud and put your music up there. That would be a nice format for you to get your music out because really, anybody that's on here, FreddieBassMusic.com, he can just really play some instruments and your sound is really nice if you like jazz. So once again, you're listening to Sunday Brunch, and if you have Anchor FM, download it. Spotify, download it. Google Podcast, download it. Apple Podcast, download it. New platforms for you guys. Castaway, download it. Listen up, download it. Next up, download it. Podcast Player, download it. RadioNet and RSS Radio, download it. Sunday Brunch, WNBA State of Nine, the hottest WNBA podcast out there. Go get it. Coach, I love you. I love you for being on the show. I
Thank
wish you
you.
much luck. Let's keep in touch. I gotta have you back on the show. Hopefully, I could get Coach Trammell on here while she's sitting out there. Come on the show. Give me your take. You were in the Wubble. You know, you had some fantastic stories, some fantastic following on Instagram. Got to get her in the seat as well. Coach, I love you. I appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you, Goody. I appreciate you. Stay blessed.
Sammy Sosa.
All right.
Namaste.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.